season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Now this defense for the Lions, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And here's Jones again on second down.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Rodgers.
And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will take over.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10.
At the 34.
They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Detroit! Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left, early in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
2nd down, another shot for Jones.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He rifles one that's intercepted. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
He'll get that out wide to Duvernay. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
On 2nd down, Swift. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Was that the incorrect read or just more an error on the throw by the quarterback?
I lean more towards the latter because it seemed like he was open there, just missed him on the throw.
And a tough one to miss because now you're dealing with a 4th down.
Gets it out quickly here to the left flat. And some space here. Touchdown, Detroit. DJ Chark, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Oh, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
play action. Now Rodgers. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense. Coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
Hey, 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Rodgers. That's complete to Dobbs. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 27, Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Jones. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all you got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Goff. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Finding Williams once more, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The Lions at 7-3 now on the year, and they've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 now on the year.
And I thought they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Goff a handoff here to Swift. Swift is hit, and he coughs it up. And the Packers pick it up. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
You know, you want those early holiday shoppers, partner, or you want those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the #1 goal? Make the playoffs. #2, win your division. #3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the #1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. 129 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
That's a nice run to get himself back on the horse after his fumble. Nothing spectacular, but a good confidence-building run.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Goff. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 11 yards there and a line 1st down.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to
to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Gone.
And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st down, it's gone. He finds his man, complete. It's Castillo.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 1st and 10, Goff. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That will look like a march to the end zone. Has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Goff. And he fires one that's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it.
And the Packers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflict.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
65 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers complete to Jones.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
On the counter, here's Jones. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6.
In motion left is Rodgers. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush your passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Romeo Doubs
from 10 yards out.
And the Packers have taken the lead here in this third quarter. So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a third quarter lead.
And they were
there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well moving the ball down the field.
Extra point good by Prater, and it's now 17-14.
Packers 17, Lions 14.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
137 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
That's taken in by Duvernay. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
From the 50, it's gone. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And if we go back to the last series, remember, their coverage allowed them to get a turnover in the last drive, a takeaway, and that helped contribute to a sack on this one. I think maybe his quarterback's a little bit hesitant. Last time he turned it over, now he sees his zone coverage a little bit slow to get rid of the football.
After the sack on first down, Goff, open man is Duvernay.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
Goff now to throw.
Right back to Duvernay. That's complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Back to the running game with Swift.
Gets by him, and now a little daylight. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Once again, it's Swift.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now a give, right side, Swift.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Now it's gone. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
Quay Walker came through to make the sack.
The passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
So now following the sack, often the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Castillo. And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Badgley's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net. But they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter.
And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Rodgers now to throw. Caught by Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Running right, Jones. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down.
He has it complete to Christian Watson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. for it. It's Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Lions are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Boy, 175 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has three options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
So third down, but you got to think they'd like to get closer, even in a dome with good kicking conditions for a possible field goal.
We're good. We're good.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. Down at the 35, it'll be second down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Second and 7.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7.
2 for 1. 2 for 1.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get it behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So third down, but you got to think they'd like to get closer, even in a dome with good kicking conditions for a possible field goal. This is Swift on the counter. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And he missed it. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do they do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines.
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. And if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. I get and appreciate that they wanted to go for the win, not play for overtime, but that's the cost right there.
Not so sure their fans feel the same way as you when they just watch that ball get picked and taken the other way, and now they're down 6. Looks like it's going to be a loss for them. An absolute catastrophe when they tried to be aggressive.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble to bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.